りがとう、リン。俺もオビトもそろそろそっちへ行くよ。また3人でゆっくり話をしよう。
What? Hello lovelies, I'm C and welcome back to another episode of Naruto Shippuden. And yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen now that Obito and Sakura have Sasuke. How are we getting back? Are we getting back? I mean, we have to get back, right? Yeah, I know, we have to get back. Alright, let's get straight into these episodes. Oh shit. Is he even gonna make it? Aww. Oh, okay, now it's making sense. Obito and Rin. Looking like a crying episode. The tears are there, man. They're already there. Damn it. Just the idea of this is so sad to me. It's sad because I wonder how it could have gone if they had brought Rin back and given him that opportunity to say goodbye. But maybe after everything that he had done, maybe he didn't deserve something like that. I don't know. Maybe they thought it would have been too nice after everything he'd done. I'm so glad I had this prepped already. With Naruto, you can never be sure. I also think it's really interesting too that because we don't know much about Rin and we don't get time with her ourselves in a present sense of the story, it's always a flashback. I like that you can kind of see the differences in her based off of Kakashi's flashback and then Obito's flashbacks, just to show the different level of care and connection. Like with Kakashi, it seemed very much like teammates, and we're just getting the story as is because that's the kind of person he is. It's very much like, this is the guy that annoyed me. This is the girl that I was friends with that was on my team. Like it seemed very much like just telling things as they were. Whereas with Obito, we see a much softer, much more caring side of her, even though that was in the other, like, original 120 and 121. I think those were the episodes. But it's like here you see like this genuine like caring and supportiveness that we don't get in the beginning. And that's also a lot of the time, I think, because we're seeing this from Obito's memories and his genuine like connection to her and the way he feels about her. And it's expressed so well just through her facial expressions. Not even always just what she does, but like the way she looks at him, the fondness there. So it's like, even if you don't think she was in love with him romantically, you know she cared about him very deeply. And he did mean a lot to her. Yep, drop. That was me before every test. Just like, no. Looking around like, do I remember this? Coming back to questions. I still like find it crazy that it was Guy. Every time they do this theme, they know they're coming for, they know they're coming for me. I know I said it before, but I think the reason Obito's story always hits me is because it's the story Naruto could have had if he had succumbed to his pain. And it's a very easy story for many to fall into. Because most of us can't overcome those feelings, at least initially, and it takes time. And then you'll do things before you can that will, you know, cause a lot of potential regrets in your life. Yeah.
そのくせ小さなことで一喜一憂する俺を君はいつでも助けてくれたのに。
Yeah. When you need to believe the lie so much. The thing is, Madara was the same way. He also needed to believe the lie. Sasuke looks so disinterested. Ah, damn Obito and Rin. Getting me every damn time. Yeah. God damn. I feel so bad for Kakashi. He just like like standing there wanting to do something.
ただ見ているだけで何もできないのか。
I mean, you could fight before you had the Sharingan.
オビトも必死で
But I feel like this is a fight maybe, like, don't join.
お前たちの師として大したことはしてやれなかった。
Damn.
バカな。
I always love when Black Zetsu is like, damn. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, thank God. No, it's gotta be a clone. Yeah. 100%. Yes, I knew it. I was like, there's no way. Distracted her. Oh God. Yo, that sent a chill down my spine. Wow. Oh my gosh. Did she change the gravity? What the hell? Wow. Okay, so she did change the gravity. Wow. Oh my God. And they're just stuck. Oh no, she's gonna keep going. Yo, he's moving too. Oh my God, what is about to happen? I don't like that. I'm really not liking any of this. Wait, what? I guess they're finally getting a little bit more accustomed to the gravity shift.
Naruto, Sasuke, そして Sakura か。こいつらは今大切な時だ。
Yeah. Yeah, it's... Yo, Black Zetsu needs to shut up. Yeah, but he's not now. That's the difference. This guy is just pure evil. I mean, I don't think the people around him right now would agree with you. That Black Zetsu had to have been created just from evil. Like, that was literally how he was born. Just her evil. Like, her anger and hatred. It's so sad because it's like sometimes the person most in need is found by the broken. And it's sad because even before, I always used to say, like, what would have happened if this had happened or if that had happened. And now that we can go so far back, we know that it was really Black Zetsu that has put us on this path. And it's not just one sole part or piece. It's the fact that everything had to be in place to get to the point that we got to. It's interesting because it's like with Obito, there's like this deep sadness I have when I watch him, especially as a kid. You know, the innocence and the desire to just achieve his dreams and live his life and love this girl that he's had a crush on forever. And it's just like, it's so wholesome. And then you see the shift. But now you understand the shift. You see why the anger and the hatred ruled out and why he became Tobi. And the thing is, like, Tobi doesn't take away from what Obito was, but he also definitely doesn't change that it was still... Wow. It doesn't change that he still did those things. But I can still feel bad for Obito, even while still greatly disliking Tobi. Wow. Yeah, sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
何か目が覚めたような気がした。
He gave him back his self.
お前も所詮無力な忍びだ。お前も。いや、誰でもいずれ俺のようになるのだからな。俺はてめえみたいにはならねえ。何度も言ってんだろ。俺がなりてえのはホカゲだ。こんな世界のためにもう戦う意味はないはずだ。
It's weird because I'm sad,
数分で終わる。
but I'm happy for him
そうまでしてなぜ戦う。
that he didn't die
自分の言葉は曲げねえ。
like that.
それが俺の人道だからだ。
And at least he got to die as himself.
無理しないで。今日はここまで。
Ah!
約束したら俺はホカゲになるんだからな。
God damn it.
昔の自分を見ているようで、今の自分を後悔した。だが何よりそれがなぜだか嬉しくもあってな。
Someone's living their dream.
ガキの頃は何度もホカゲになった自分を想像してよ。興奮と不安とあの何とも言えぬ気持ち、それを思い出させたからだろう。
It's like if he can't have it, at least you're still aiming for it.
気がめいるな。来る日も来る日も書類書類。
仕方ないだろう。お前はおかげな。それにこの程度の雑務、戦いに追われる日々。
And the thing about this dream that he had, it's not surprising that it's Kakashi that's always by his side.
おかげさま、見回りですか？
まあな。とか言って本当はサボってるだけじゃねえの。お前じゃあるまいし。なんだと。やるのか。
やめなさい。
Damn! Damn!
ってなんで俺だけなんだってばよ。
I don't think that would have happened though, because would Tsunade have trained her? Who knows? It also makes me wonder, because Sasuke's there, like, are the villagers okay with Uchiha? Or, like, did that go well?
最後だからか。俺は何をペラペラと。
And I love how ambiguous they've made that relationship. Because it wasn't about whether or not she was in love with him, right? I mean, she probably liked Kakashi, but that's not what it was about. It never mattered whether or not she loved him back. It was just the fact that he loved her.
あなたを救うことは世界を救うのと同じなんでしょ？ 私が見張ってるってことはもう何にも隠し事はできないよ。頑張れオビト。かっこよく世界を救うとこ見せてね。それも約束だよ。行こう。
お前にはこれからまだ多くの苦しみがあるだろう。だがそれでもお前は変わることなくその人道を貫き、ナルト、お前は必ずホカゲになれ。
It's like you already forget there's actually a fight happening.
裏切り者の虫けらがやっと死んだか。虫けらは虫けらでもこのしつこさはゴキブリだった。
Yo, he's just gonna piss off Naruto. That's all that's happening. Exactly. Go ahead, Black Zetsu. Piss off Naruto more. That's all he needs.
お前もこれ以上歯向かってると我で惨めなそいつと同じになるんだ。おかげになろうとしたオビトは俺には
Yes! Yes! Finally!
待ってたよ。そうか。待たせてすまねえ。いろいろ道に迷ったみたいだね。ここに来るまでいろいろあってよ。リンとの約束。オビトは頑張ったじゃない。ずっと見てたんだよ。行こう。
Well, there goes watching another one. Apologies in advance. There was a lot of crying in that, and yeah, my face is very I just was crying a lot. That's what this is reading as. There's like this weird feeling, and I was trying to explain it in the episodes, but it's, I guess maybe just better to do like this because I kept stopping to try to like see what was happening. But I am always sad about what happened to Obito and the trajectory that his life went down, because he does remind me so strongly of Naruto. And it does feel like, you know, if Naruto had allowed the hatred and negativity of the village to get to him, it could have been a path that he also had walked. And when I think about it, it's like most, and I guess I can't speak for all of you, but I think just naturally most of us are quicker to anger than we are to forgiveness. And it's very understandable how Obito went down that path and became Tobi. And so it makes it that when I think about him, I almost have to kind of like separate how I view him, where there's Obito and then there's Tobi. And even Tobi, when I think of his connection to Obito, feels like such a tragic figure because he's not real in a sense. He just is kind of existing without identity, and even his purpose is just to live in a false reality. So I can kind of pity Tobi, but in terms of, you know, what he's actually done, and even if I, you know, feel for Obito and I can have pity for Tobi, the things that Tobi did were detrimental to so many lives. Like, yes, Black Zetsu kind of put everybody on this path through Indra, but what Tobi did, he did. This, you know, there's no blaming anybody else. Even if, you know, he at this point understands that what he did was wrong, he still did it. And it's that same story of Itachi, where, again, the way I view Itachi is separate sometimes, and or most of the time, from what, like, the worst action he's committed, which is what he did to his clan. But it doesn't take away from the fact that they still did these things. So sympathy and understanding are there for both characters, but I will never forget the actions that they caused and the pain that they caused and the lives that were lost because of them. Even at the time when Itachi was committing the genocide, Tobi / Obito was there helping him. So, so it's always difficult when he's dying because I think he could not survive. The way things went with him understanding and coming to terms with, how lost he had become and the fact that he'd become someone he did not want to be anymore, I think was enough to show that deep down who he was supposed to be was not the person he became. And that was enough for me because I knew he could not live. There are certain situations where it's like sometimes you can look at a character and say, we'll bring that character back, they'll have redemption, blah, blah, blah. And as sad as it is to say, Obito, I think, saving Kakashi was extremely good for his character as Obito. But after everything Tobi did, he couldn't live. There's just... I just don't think they would have let him live. It's the same thing as Itachi. Like, after the genocide, there was no being able to go back from that. And even the reasoning behind it does not change what actually happened. And I felt bad for Itachi because I don't think that even should have been something he had to deal with. And even Obito, I know he was manipulated and coerced, but even after Madara was gone, he still did all these things, and he did it willingly. So, the Akatsuki as a whole, I think at this point is just gone, except Hidan. But he can't. But he's dealing with even worse than death at this point because he's trapped for life. But I don't think the Akatsuki as a whole just didn't survive because they couldn't. The things that they had done. The lives they had taken, horrible, but it's sad because they all had stories, you know what I mean? And I think that's why, as much as I knew Obito could not survive, I was just happy to see the peace. And so many of the characters, even in the Akatsuki, had that with Sasori and even Itachi, they had, the ones that could anyways, and kind of came to terms with their actions, were able to at least find peace and almost find their souls again. Especially with Sasori where he just kind of came to terms with it and was like, yeah, I don't I don't want this, And with Obito, when he had that moment, it was enough for me. But it was still sad because as much as I have to see him as the adult he became, you can't ever forget the kid he was. And that hopefulness. It always just hurts to know what he could have been. What he could have had if there weren't literal maniacal people aiming to destroy the world for one woman. And I shouldn't say people, it was only Black Zetsuin on it. I should say person, but it's all of it, as I've said before, all of it was for nothing. All the lives lost, all this, this aim to collect the tails and control the world. Sometimes it's you always think you're the mastermind behind things, right? It's you came up with the plan and you're working with someone else, not realizing that the plan was put into your head through someone else, but they made you think that you came up with it. And at the end of the day, they're not planning to work with you. They just want to use you to work for them, which is what happened to so many characters. By the end, it was like just list off, who ended up just being used as a puppet for Black Setsu. But I like the moments, even with Kakashi, where he admitted that a lot of the times he was just putting this front on because it was obvious he's trying to seem like this, like, very skilled and professional shinobi. And at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like he considers them friends, or he really cares, but he does. He's just hiding it, and he's really good at it. But yeah, just the sadness where Kakashi's there, and then he realizes that once again Obito saved his life. And it's hard because, like, even when Black Zetsu was going after him, a lot of it I don't agree with, but some of it you're like, you don't want to take away all the accountability of what he did, but it's like that little boy is still in there. He's just been manipulated. It's like they just used his pain against him. And it's common. That is something that happens all the time. People are frustrated, or they're angry, or they're hurt, and somebody comes and convinces them, I know how to best, help you through this. And usually it's to hate someone else, or to be mad at someone else, or to be mad at the world. And all it does is progress that pain and, make it stronger. And that person never finds peace. They never find anything better. So that's why I'm kind of just happy he got to meet Naruto. It's like, as I said before, the version of him that succeeded. And in the end, at least he got to see Rin, and she accepted him. I think that's all that mattered anyways. I don't know, I'm just thinking back, and it's sad. It's like, it's always very complicated, but I like that it's things like this that challenge me, where, again, like I've been saying, Tobi is not my favorite character. As I've mentioned numerous times throughout the series, but Obito is different, and I like to mentally separate them in my head, but the accountability has to remain as one. So I didn't think he would be able to survive, but I did want him to find peace, and I'm happy that even in the end, he was able to, protect Kakashi and protect Naruto, and that's something. That's something. But yeah, I've just been rambling, because what else do I do but ramble? Afterwards, man, you think I would just be able to compartmentalize all of my thoughts and immediately, but I'm not that person. I just, need to ramble it out. But hopefully something in this made sense, That's the hope whenever I do these outros. But yeah, I'm sad, but hopeful that hopefully, anyone who's in pain, anyone who's sad, anyone who's feeling devastated can at least see Obito's story, and instead of isolating and potentially finding their emperor slash Madara, will look to anyone that they feel cares for them, and use that as the support system, which is healthier than the dark side. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully that's what this story has done. It's at least hopefully saved somebody out there, you know? That's like the positive thing I have to look for when I watch things like this that make me think so much. I'm like, hopefully somebody else watched it and they were going through a rough time and it was helping them through that. And, you know, pay it forward, and that positivity just continues and continues and until everybody's watching Naruto. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks to everyone on Patreon for your continued support. And if you've made it all the way here, you're amazing, because I rambled a lot on this one. But until the next episodes, guys, bye.